Kit, it seems like a long time since we spoke, and obviously that really important 3 points away at Huddersfield. How good was it to go into the break with that?
Yeah, I think it was very important. It was almost one of them, after getting the win in the most bizarrest of ways. You know, a bit of momentum. Then you want to sort of get the next game coming along as quickly as possible. But you know, we knew what the schedule was, and it's always better to go into that break with a win under your belt. And you know, 3 points is what we ended up with.
Obviously, there were a few players missing because of injuries: Ross McCormack, Lasvig and Christensen, and Scott Parker from that lineup. Are they any closer to being able to make your starting 11 tomorrow?
Yeah, they're all closer. Lass definitely won't be available. He's still he's progressing quite nicely. He was out on the grass today, doing some running with the physios, but he's going to be a little way off still yet. But he's coming along quite nicely. Scott and Ross both back in training now, so they'll both be in contention to play tomorrow, so that's great news.
And 3 new additions since we last spoke. Richard Lee, James Husband and Danny Guthrie have all joined your group of players. Can you tell us a little bit about each of those? Yeah,
well, Richard Lee's obviously the goalkeeping situation we looked at with Marcus and Gabor as 2 sort of senior keepers, our only 2 senior keepers after Jesse Joran unfortunately got injured again. So we just we didn't want to leave ourselves short going into this really important end to the season. So you know, we were able to get Richard Lee, which we're delighted about. So we've now got the 3 senior boys, and you know, touch wood, there won't be any injuries. But if there are, we've got bodies to cover it. So that was the thinking behind that. And he's you know, we knew about his character. He's great, real good lads, good person, and a good keeper. So we're very thankful to have him on board. Obviously, with the James Husband one, it was a sort of swap deal with Fernando going up to Middlesbrough, and we've got obviously I mean, Fernando had come back from injury, had a frustrating time with us, played the game against Bournemouth at left back, and then was out of the picture then for the next game. It's frustrating for him, and you know, so I think the move up to Middlesbrough has worked great for him. And we've got a very good left back, orthodox left back in James Husband, who's a very good player. So, you know, we've now got good competition with James and Costas for that left back berth, and also got Sean Kavanagh who can play there as well as the midfield row. So that was the thinking behind that one, and it's again another quality acquisition and a real good person, good character who's coming in. Danny Guthrie, again someone in that central midfield role, who's got a wealth of experience at Championship level. You know, he's played Premier League as well, but it's more the Championship experience that I was focused on and that was important. Very good player, just wasn't getting a lot of game time at Reading. So, you know, to get someone as experienced as that to come in with us for the rest of the season is a bit of a coup. So we're delighted to have all 3 boys on board, and they're all 3 really, like I say, good characters around the place, very positive in and around the changing rooms, and delighted to have them with us.
I know you've talked a lot about getting that balance between experience and youth right, because you have to build a team to play in the Championship, to compete in the Championship. Do you sort of put the red cards down and silly mistakes down to that lack of experience with some of the younger players?
That's part of it, I think. I mean, so, you know, some of the obviously we've had a lot of sendings off in my tenure, which is, you know, I'm certainly not getting the boys focused on running around sort of kicking in training. We want to play good football, so I'm not quite sure what to put the senders off down to, but there'd be a little bit of an experience, and it would be accountable for a few of them. But the balance within the squad is vital, you know. And you just look at history in any successful team in the Championship. You look at the composition of their squad and how it's made up, you know. And we need to take notice, take heed of this, and that's how I want to plan our squad and build our squad for next season and the coming seasons. You know, it's doing the right thing for the football club, so we're in a good, real positive, solid position, and we can then go forward and move on like we all want to do.
You talked about the Huddersfield performance not being one of the best performances in your tenure as well, but you also ground out the result, and that shows you a lot about the character and the resilience in your squad.
It does, and on that side of things, I was, you know, absolutely delighted with the performance, but we didn't play very well at all. They were by far the better team, but we've had too many games where we've been the better team, or I felt we've been the better team, we've lost, and you know, that's not right either. So sometimes you need to, you know, not play particularly well but grind out the result. and that brings it nicely to Brentford as well, because the last time we played Brentford, we didn't play particularly well, but we're 1-0 up with less than 10 minutes to go, and that's where you've got to grind out the result and see it through. And I think where we are now, we do that, but unfortunately then wasn't the case. But back to Huddersfield, that was probably the most bizarre game I've played in. They obviously 2 missed penalties, we had Hutch sent off, they hit the woodwork a few times.
But sometimes that little bit of luck that you haven't been getting is an extra boost that you need in terms of confidence.
Yeah, I think so.
Going forward.
I think so. It is, and we played 10 times better against Leeds and lost the game. So it's sometimes it's how football goes. I want us to play well every week, play good football every week, and play really well. But ultimately, it's about winning games as well and getting the points on the board. So sometimes you need to be able to get points when you maybe don't deserve them, but then when you do deserve them because you played well, you've got to make sure that's the case as well. So if you can combine the two, play well and get what you deserve, and then nick things when you don't deserve them as well. That's what the teams at the top do, and the best teams in any league, that's how they do things, and we need to. That's what I want us to be as a football club, back up there challenging.
Still not safe mathematically, and with a number of games to play. Brentford on the cusp of a playoff position, so they're going to come all guns blazing. They're going to obviously want this result to push them on. How important is it to be on your mettle from the whistle? Well,
Fulham Brentford's a massive game. I've obviously got a long history with the football club, and I know how much this game means to our supporters and to me and to everyone linked with the football club. It's a great game. It's a brilliant game. Like I say, they've done tremendously well. I think Mark Waltman's done a brilliant job with them, and they're a good side. They've got some good players, play good, attractive football as well. But it's effective. So, yeah, we know we'll have to be at it from word go. But it'll be a real lively atmosphere. It'll be a great atmosphere. Fantastic game of football. So we'll come out flying and expect to get the momentum and keep it going. And
just finally, a word on all of the international boys that went away. I think pretty much a clean bill of health coming back, but some varied results. How does that work? Does it affect their confidence in that way? Is it a good thing having that sort of period away from the rest of your teammates?
Yeah, sometimes it can be a nice break. It is what it is. So you've got to make the positive out of it. All our boys have had sort of good performances, good results. So. And like I say, people coming back fit and well, which is the main thing, because you're always, as a manager, you're on tenterhooks waiting to see, hoping everyone comes back all right. Obviously, Jazz Richards was a bit of a blow, picking up his injury in training, but the rest of the boys coming back looking good. So overall, yeah, pleased with the way they've come back, and everyone looks sharp in training. So it's been good.
Brentford will travel in numbers tomorrow. How important is it for the fans to be behind the boys from that whistle?
Yeah, it's always really, really important. We've I thought we played well against Leeds, created a load of chances, but the result wasn't anything like we wanted. But it's important to get back to winning ways. I think in front of the Craven Cottage faithful, and they deserve to be given a lift and given something special. So we intend to give that to them on Friday night.
We wish you luck.
Thank you.